Hey guys, so I wanted to say something about Chris Rock's Netflix comedy stand-ups called Selective Outrage. Everything was tolerable and funny to me, except for how he joked about killing innocent babies. He actually even said, let's just call it for what it is. It's called killing babies. He's jokingly, but I don't think it's really funny. Everything was funny except that. But everything was kind of like tolerable except that part. So it just didn't set right in my spirit. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. It just didn't set right in my spirit. He kind of like tried to like skim on it and try to like codify like pro-life in the fact that he has two beautiful daughters, but not really caring about life. You're just caring about your own daughters. In other words, who cares about other innocent babies or innocent children? I just care about my own. That's basically selfish in a sense. One of the things that the Lord hates is shedding innocent blood. And so you would say, okay, but that's not really life. Well, actually, the Bible says that blood is life. They are the same. In Leviticus 17, verse 11, God says, for the life of the flesh is in the blood. For the life of the flesh is in the blood.
I'm like, hey, I've paid for more abortions than any woman in this room. I go to the clinic, I say, give me the usual. When I go in, they give me a punch card, Two more and I get a free smoothie. I have two beautiful daughters, right? So there's a part of me that's pro-life, okay? Because I'm definitely pro their lives. But since I love my daughters unconditionally, I love them not just as little girls, I love them as grown women. I want my daughters to live in a world where they have complete control of their bodies, okay? Okay? Because of that, I am pro-choice. I'm absolutely pro-choice, okay? I believe women should have the right to kill babies. Right, I'm on your side. I believe you should have the right to kill as many babies as you want. Kill them all, I don't give a fuck. But let's not get it twisted. It is killing a baby. Because whenever I pay for an abortion, I request a dead baby. Sometimes I call up the doctor like a hitman. Is it done?
Take a look at this other video.
A human egg is fertilized by a sperm, and that is a single cell organism that has a unique genetic makeup. So at fertilization, you have a living cell that has that unique genetic pattern. So on that basis, human life begins at fertilization. A lot happens after that. It gets complicated, but I really do believe that a human life, that individual human being with that unique genetic signature starts at fertilization. People think of doctors as so smart. We're no different than anyone else. When you figure out here, not here, that killing a baby this big for money is wrong, it doesn't take you too long to figure out it. It doesn't matter if the baby is this big or even this big. It's all the same.
I love what Dr. Levatino said, that whenever we start saying like, at what size is it a human baby? It's like, well, what size is a human? You know, whenever you realize that a baby this big, and this big is a baby, it doesn't matter if it's this big or this big. Mm-hmm. You know, like if we're going based off of size, our baby in the womb right now, she said, was like as, the tip of my finger, but we saw little arms and legs on our ultrasound.
And the baby was moving around.
The baby was moving.
And she's resting, just chilling with her arm up right there.
Of course she is.
So I feel like a lot of people watching or listening might not know how abortions are performed, I think you hear pro-choice and it sounds right because it's like, oh, well, the mother should be able to decide whether to keep or not keep, but they don't understand what not keep means.
Well, most people don't realize it, but any OBGYN has to learn how to do abortions in their residency program. You can opt out because of conscience, but I didn't because I was really very pro-abortion. I had had an abortion myself, and I didn't think any woman should have to bear a child she didn't want. In our training program, we learned how to do first trimester abortions, but I was so gung-ho that I went outside of the program and got one of the local abortionists to show me how to do D&E abortions, which are also known as dismemberment abortions, where you literally take the baby apart piece by piece to remove it from the uterus. In the first trimester, that involved putting some local anesthetic in the cervix, and after you have the opening large enough, you insert a little tube and you go around just like a little vacuum cleaner and suck out the pregnancy. And the baby is sort of torn apart as it's going through the hole because it's bigger than the hole, and then the placenta goes through. And then you check to make sure there's nothing left, and that's the end.
Yeah.
And then for second trimester, it's a little bit more involved. Oftentimes you have to dilate the cervix ahead of time, because if you try to mechanically dilate the cervix, it can lead to damage to the cervix. Then you just reach in with a heavy-duty clamp and grab whatever you can grab, an arm or a leg usually, and as you're pulling it through the cervix, the body's too big, so it's not going to come, and so with enough traction and twisting, the arm or the leg comes off. And you do that until you've got everything you can, and then you have to reach up and try to crush the bigger parts, so like the chest, and eventually the head, and then you just bring them out in pieces. You can tell when you've crushed the head because the white brains leak out.